Your SSDI, SSI, and Social Security benefit questions are answered in the context of a second stimulus check. Hey everybody, this is LALATE with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. This one's the one in which we answer all of your incredible questions from yesterday's video, especially if you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. Great news, exciting news today. So we're going to get to a lot of your really interesting and great questions. Let me get to some of the broad stroke questions. I got a lot of them overnight that had the same question really in them. First of all, a lot of people ask, if I get a second stimulus check, does it impact my benefits? No. So don't ever worry about that. That's an important thing to remember. Receiving the check does not disqualify you for benefits. A lot of people have been asking that. Second, the check is not taxable. A lot of people have been asking that as well. Third, the check cannot be drawn upon for other things. For example, the check cannot be taken for child support, cannot be taken for back taxes, cannot be taken for state taxes or federal taxes. So that's all great news. This is different with the second stimulus check than the first stimulus check. All the proposals are basically the same. Next, the second stimulus check does not come from your benefits organization. So a lot of people are asking, hey, I didn't get my first stimulus check from the VA. The stimulus check doesn't come from the VA. The stimulus check comes from the IRS. And so I want you to understand that we're dealing with something different here. Next, a lot of people have asked, is the fact that you're on benefits impact the reason why you get the check? No, absolutely not. Not at all. The only thing that makes it actually good for you is that of all the three proposals that are on the table, all three of them want to give a second stimulus check to people who don't make a lot of money. So that is a sort of universal great thing that we're at issue here. But the fact that, because I got a lot of questions where people said, I was on benefits, now I'm off benefits, am I now no longer going to get the check? Oh, absolutely. One has nothing to do with the other. So the fact that you are on VA benefits doesn't mean you qualify for the check. And the fact that you go off of VA benefits doesn't mean you disqualify for the check. Pretty simple. Really, really great news. So as you know, I've been detailing for you a certain series of reasons why you qualify for the check, and those very rare circumstances in which you may not get a second stimulus check. Moreover, I've dealt with the differences of why you did not get the first check and why that will be different for the second check. Let me get to the last one first. A lot of you have never gotten the first check. And the reason why you may not have gotten the first check is, one, you were a dependent on someone else's tax return as an adult dependent. They simply did not authorize a first stimulus check to people who were adult dependents on someone else's tax return. Two, they simply didn't know where you were, and you didn't do an additional step they required. Unfortunately, what's very sad is that with the first stimulus check, they created these requirements that you had to do for some people. And if they didn't know they had to do it, they didn't do them. And to this day, some people still don't know those requirements exist. Next, I have a lot of people that are asking me, I didn't get my first check, so is my second check going to come with my first check? No, it's not like they're holding checks there and delivering them together. Some of you simply don't qualify for the first check or didn't do something you're supposed to do for the first check. What I said yesterday is so important. I really wish, I wish it with the deepest of my heart that you understand the importance of this, that when we talk about the second stimulus check, there are some people, and I'll get to who those people are in a second, some groups of people, that the IRS for the first stimulus check really asked you to do something, and they'll likely ask you to do it again for the second stimulus check. It's not so much of it's not a lot of work. You got to do one thing, but those people may still be saying, I didn't get the first check. I'm not going to get the second check. I'm not holding my breath. Well, the problem is that I don't want you to hold your breath. I don't want you to die on me. We got a few more minutes left of this video. But the point is that the IRS asks for people to do certain things for the first check, And if you didn't do it, you didn't get a check. And that's so sad because it was your money. It was like, hey, here's your money. And you may not have done that thing. So what am I talking about? First, if you are newly on benefits this year, if you're newly on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, or Railroad benefits this year, you're in that you're in that group that IRS asked you to do something else. Second, if you did not file 2019 to 2018 tax returns, you may have been required to do something else. Third, if you have a dependent, you have a child, and you are on benefits, you may have had to do something for that child. So there are certain groups of people, and those are the most important ones that I'm really highlighting for you, that the IRS said, you have to do something else. And so there you go. How much would the check be? When will you receive it? What are the amounts of the check? And all that wonderful, great news. Some people just want to hear that and nothing else. Just tell me the check and when am I getting it? The check you will likely get in late August. And the possible next possible date would be early September. It depends on the manner of delivery of the check. The first stimulus check came by the manner in which you receive your benefits, if you're on benefits. So if you receive your benefits by direct deposit or by debit card, great news, because you'll be the first group to likely get the second stimulus check. If you receive your benefits by paper check, if you receive your Social Security every month by paper check in the mailbox, then you would be the later group because they got to print the check. Now, there's talks about escalating the system in manner in which you get the payments, thinking of maybe doing all direct deposits. I don't think it's ever going to pass. I really don't think it's going to pass because a lot of people don't have bank accounts. And to tell all American citizens that are getting a second stimulus check, go out and get a bank account, it's just not going to happen. That's the first thing. The second thing is, how much is the check? So there are a lot of proposals on the table. The Democrats want a $1,200 check. Donald Trump apparently today may have said a $1,200 check. Last week and the last 3 weeks before that, he said he wanted to give a lot more than $1,200, which seemed to be around $2,000. The proposals of multiple checks, 6 checks, 1 check every month, or until the pandemic improves, or until unemployment rates go down, which would be a check every single month. There's talk that people should be entitled to their retroactive checks they did not receive for the month of April, May, June, July. What I want you to understand is the following, and it's so important, that when we talk about checks or check, this is not your last stimulus check. I'm really, you can repeat back to me in the comments as much as you want whatever Mitch McConnell says. I don't care a hoot what Mitch McConnell says. First of all, I don't think he's going to be reelected. That's the first thing. Second of all, even the most of the rest of his party doesn't even listen to him anymore. The White House doesn't listen to Mitch McConnell. So I don't really care what Mitch McConnell says. And you know which remark I'm referring to, where he says, "Don't come back to me. This is your last stimulus package. I don't ever want to see you again." Well, you know what? There's going to be another stimulus package. There will be. I mean, the pandemic is not ending in September. The coronavirus is not going to be solved by September. So there's going to be another stimulus package. The reason and what the issue is when. I really do think that when the fall election comes along, you're going to see a lot of movement. I think you're going to see politicians use stimuluses as a way to get themselves reelected. And the way you get reelected is you give stimulus checks. You don't give a single check. No one in their right mind thinks a single stimulus check is going to cut it. Let me answer some of your questions right now. Dawn, rather than having to go through this constantly, they should just do $2,000 a month every month. I agree 100%. I mean, Dawn is repeating the comment that almost every viewer of this channel says. Vicky, the CDC is a business with over 40 patents of their own. Donald, I'm a disabled veteran. I get disability pensions, but the VA said everyone gets one, but I had to fill out a non-filer form, and 2 days later it was in my account. I love Donald. So he's a VA. He's a vet. He understood he had to do something. He contacted the VA because I hadn't been making videos at that point. I was not making videos during the first stimulus package. And so he reached out to the VA. He says, what am I do? What am I do? And they said, you do a non-filer. He did it, and he got his payment within 2 days. I love you. Everyone listen to what Donald did. There we go. Another Don Gerard. Everyone knows one check isn't going to cut it. I agree. Robert, stop talking about stimulus check and give it to us. Linda, I love your jokes. They have their jobs and it's voting time. Linda Blackburn. Here's one to put in their classrooms: no masks and no social distancing. See what happens. Cecily. So SSI people could potentially get our usual per month and a monthly $2,000 without getting in trouble. That would be a blessing. Yes, what I want you to understand, and so Cecily is really asking what I started the video with. The fact that you get a stimulus check does not defeat, contradict, disqualify your benefits. Don't think that. It's just not the case. And the fact that you're getting a stimulus does not mean that the fact that you're on SSI or SSDI does not mean you qualify for a stimulus check any more than a person not on SSDI or SSI. The only thing that is key at issue here is these caps. Republicans and Democrats do not want to give a stimulus check to every person in America. They don't want to give one to Elon Musk. They don't want to give one to Warren Buffett. So they don't want to give one to every person. But where do they cap it? What type of money do you have to make in 2019 for them to say, I'm not giving you a stimulus check? Karen, bro, new building. So sad. I mean, that was yesterday's video where I talked about all this pork. I'm talking about it again today. I mean, there's airlines and hotels trying to get stimulus for themselves. I mean, how dare them? I'm here to ensure that you have food and utilities and rent paid, and you're not kicked out of your home. And here come hotels worried about, worried about how much soap and shampoo is in the bathroom. I mean, really. Betty, Elliot, I love watching you and your updates. They're great. Amber, he's out of his damn mind, a building. Yes. I mean, I really don't, if you did not see yesterday's video, which I hope you did, there was a report that basically, I think it was the Washington Post, that says President Trump wants a new building for the Pentagon, I think it was, and that he was going to hold up the second stimulus package, not the check, but the package. But the package has the check in it, unless he got a new building for someone. Now, I got to say that I don't want anyone to pigeonhole the president, because both parties are doing it. Shame on them. Both the Republicans and the Democrats are doing them. They all have these lobbyists who pay for these congressmen's campaign funds, and they're all coming out, with the helicopter plane owners contacting the congressman saying, give me some money in that stimulus package, put it in there, I want some money. And the congressmen are rolling over and doing it. Joni, I'm sorry, LALATE, but if they could get that stimulus approved, let's just say tomorrow, when will it be? No, I mean, this channel has been detailing, the bill will likely get approved. Remember, this is a stimulus package that includes the check. Would likely get approved around August 7th, August 8th, August 9th, August 10th. That means the earliest you would get the check or the funds would be late August, and if you receive it by paper check, early September. Carlos, I didn't get my first stimulus check. I hope I get the second one. Yvette, they should send these ASAP. Joanne, it's a waiting game. I gotta say something. I had a little battle with someone, not a battle, but I had a little response to someone in the comments a few minutes ago to one of the videos earlier today, and the person had responded to someone's comment. The person said, the first person said, Congress is not doing anything. We are here struggling, and what are they doing? I'm going to vote them out. So the other person responded back and said, oh, you're not going to elect someone because they didn't give you a big enough stimulus check? And I'm like, no, that's not what that person's saying. The person is saying that Congress has really not taking care of the American citizens this time. They all went on a vacation. We all knew there was a pandemic. We were all on lockdown in March and April and May. We got no checks. We got one check maybe. And then they go on lockdown, and we're struggling. And then we have these awful these awful governors. I had that one from today that I had on one of the other videos that says, we need to ensure that America's back at work, and we can't keep on paying a welfare state. Governor, I mean, states are on lockdown. You need to take care of people. They can't make rent. I mean, I'm sorry to rant. You know, it's late in the day. Jorge, Mitch is going to get the virus doing his little tour. Michael Brazio, this guy's very informative. He's very good. Well, thank you. Santina, yes, I hope we get some good news. Lindia, I hope we go into bed early and be up on my TV, my cell phone, waiting for your updates. I love that. You know, sometimes these videos come out later, so I'm sorry. Jolene, does anyone notice the Senate gets a whole lot of vacations? They do get a lot of vacations. What do you get? What do we get? Jip. We get nothing. We're just sitting around waiting for these lazy congressmen to get their butts back in D.C. Green ice, whatever it's going to be a written cast of worries. Matt Wallace, thank you for telling it as it is. Well, I do. I mean, you know, they're both making a hot mess. Both sides of the parties are making a mess. Joanne, hurry up. What's the name of that tune? Catherine, to the left goes your check. I'm willing for this to bet. She's reciting some Beyonce music lyrics. I mean, yeah. I mean, Mitch Onse did not debut today. I guess a lot of people were not buying the tour tickets for Mitch Onse. You wonder why? I don't know. What are the greatest hits in Mitch Onse's second stimulus package? If you don't know, Mitch and Steve Mnuchin were supposed to debut the Republicans' second stimulus package today that would include how much their check is going to be, when it would be paid, how many reoccurring payments. I guess they were shy, you know. They didn't want to do it today. Well, they're going to have to do it because Congress is back in session later this week. Sandy, sounds like it's going to be an S show. Brad King, I'm on SSDI and SSI. The first check, the first 3 months. I'm looking forward to receiving the second stimulus check. David, thank you for getting to the point. Marine, if you file the 2019 taxes, would I get my second stimulus check to be deposited? Maxine, great question. So this is really, really important. When you file your tax returns, if you're an individual filer, which I guess Maxine is, and you provide your direct deposit information, the IRS knows how to get that check into an account. They have the account, they have the routing number, they have the checking or savings account number. So that's great news. So in the case of Maxine, if you're not on any benefits, Maxine, the IRS would deposit it right in that account. Michael, I'm 62. I was claimed on my partner's tax returns last year. I started getting retirement benefits in October. Will I get a check this time? Thank you for your info. Yes. Oh, Michaela, I'm so sorry, I butchered that. Yes. So you clearly were not eligible for the first stimulus check because you were dependent on someone else's tax return. Awful rule that first stimulus check package had. If you were dependent on someone's tax return under the first stimulus package, you were not eligible for a check. Under the second, you are. And then the fact that you went on disability benefits last year, even better, because that is one of the ones that the IRS clearly knows where you are. It's when you start benefits this year, which is a whole different issue. If you have questions in today's video, drop them in the comments below. As always, stay positive, stay motivated, stay educated, and stay FLA for more.